DD India's Dibyendu Mondal is tracking the story from New Delhi on the world reaction so far. Dibyendu, there has been unequivocal condemnation by world leaders. Give us a sense of how world leaders have reacted in one voice to this heinous Pahalgam terror attack.
Well, Tanvi, you just read out multiple tweets and messages from across the world leaders who have equivocally condemned this heinous terrorist attack on unarmed civilians who had gone to enjoy a holiday in the meadows of Pahalgam. So, of course, this gives out a sense that the world stands united beside India to fight this terrorism, to fight terrorism tooth and nail. And of course, the message is loud and clear from across the world leaders that today they stand united against the fight against terrorism. So of course, it's a strong message from across different leaders of the world, including US President Donald Trump, who also had a phone call with Prime Minister Narendra Modi to express his condolences and extend all support that is needed to wipe out terrorism from India and from the land of Kashmir. So of course, even the Russian President Vladimir Putin did put out a message saying that you just read out, saying that he expresses deepest condolences and sympathies with the families of those who have been affected due to this terrorist attack and people who have lost their lives. So of course, even Iran, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in Saudi Arabia, who had to cut short his visit and come back to India because of this dastardly attack that took away over a dozen lives in the meadows of Pahalgam, who had gone to enjoy their holiday. So of course, even Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a meeting with MBS of MBS Salman with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia yesterday, and they held detailed discussions about this entire incident in Jammu and Kashmir, and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia did give his assurance that Saudi Arabia is by the side of India, and all measures that needs to be taken to wipe out terrorism and to bring the perpetrators of this heinous crime to justice. Saudi Arabia stands by India, and of course, nations like the UAE, Iran, Sri Lanka have all expressed their condolences and message of support to India and the grieving families who have lost their near and dear ones. So today, the world stands once again united against terrorism and against terror activities that have been carried out across the world, not just in India. But of course, this terrorist attack that comes at a time when Kashmir was going back to its days of glory and tourism was at its peak, will in fact give some sort of back foot to the tourism industry in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But of course, when we talk of the world leaders and how the world has reacted to this terrorist attack in India, the world seems to stand united against terrorist activities and the terror activities in India.
Yes, Dibyendu, request you to stay with us in news just coming in. An infiltration attempt by suspected terrorists was foiled by alert Indian Army troops along the line of control in the Uri sector of North Kashmir's Baramulla district. Army sources said that 2 to 3 unidentified terrorists tried to sneak into Indian territory through the Sarjeevan area. Troops deployed at forward locations detected the movement and challenged the infiltrators, leading to a brief but intense exchange of fire. Security forces have cordoned off the area, and a search operation is in progress to track down any remaining terrorists who may have retreated into the dense forest terrain. This infiltration bid comes at a time of heightened alert levels across Jammu and Kashmir following the Pahalgam terror attack that left 26 people dead. And let me go back to our correspondent Dibyendu Mondal on the reaction received on this heinous terror attack in Pahalgam from across the world. Dibyendu, Secretary General of the Muslim World League, also condemned the terror attack yesterday in Jammu and Kashmir. The Secretary General offered deepest condolences on innocent lives lost. So the gory details that have come out from this terrorist attack is that religion was first identified and used to, target people. And what message is sent across when the Muslim World League Secretary General, Saudi Arabia Crown Prince, also condemn such distinction on the basis of, religion to target people?
Well, Tanvi, this is the state of affair that is being reported by the victims and the family members of the victims that were present at the scene of the crime when this terrorist attack did take place. And of course, these are gory details, as you said, that religion was identified, of the victims' religions were identified and then shot at, if these reports are true. So of course, this perhaps would bring, and as you said, that the Muslim world have now come united, and we have seen tweets from from across all the Gulf nations as well, condemning this attack and standing by the side of India. So of course, this perhaps gives out a clear message that religion cannot be used to target innocent civilians, and terrorism cannot be used as a tool to propagate ideologies. So of course, this message from the Muslim world stands very, very strong and clear against the nefarious activities of the terrorist organizations, most of which are backed by our neighbor Pakistan. And this attack is being reported to have taken place done by an offshoot group of the LET, Lashkar-e-Taiba, who is very much active in Pakistan. So of course, the Muslim world perhaps could leave the side of Pakistan and is trying to give a clear message to Pakistan that if you don't leave your terrorist activities behind, the Muslim world will not support you and will not stand by you. And this message from the Muslim world to Pakistan perhaps is very, very clear, that you cannot use religion and terrorist activities to prove your point. And therefore, there are messages of dialogue and peace which should be adopted by Pakistan, who has been carrying out these attacks in India over time. But of course, yesterday's attack on innocent civilians and tourists who had gone to celebrate their holidays, some as we have been reporting, that had gone to spend their honeymoon just a couple of days after they got married, is something that is unpardonable, even in fact unpardonable by any country or any humans across the world. So of course, the message is loud and clear that that each nation stands by India and the people of India during this grievous time. In fact, during this grieving time of this attack that has taken place and have taken the lives of 26 innocent people who had just gone to celebrate their holiday in a state like Jammu and Kashmir, which is beautiful. I've been to this particular place of Pahalgam, and this is actually that reflects Switzerland, as the locals also do call it, as mini Switzerland. So of course, terrorist attack on unarmed civilians is something that no one across the world has taken it lightly, and therefore have been condemning it equivocally and we are hearing voices that condemn this attack equivocally from across the world.
Terrorism is intolerable, and there is no religion of terrorists. Thank you very much, Dibendra Mondal, for tracking this story for us.